Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to another Talking Town. I'm, of course, your host, the Gov. Looking forward to discussing. Well, we'll discuss a little bit about yesterday. Bristol Rovers at home through in the FA Cup to the fourth round, where we are going to play in Coventry. We'll obviously discuss that as well. But we are here to obviously build up and look ahead to the next instalment in the Premier League story, which of course is Brighton at home. So get your thoughts, your feelings. I know Colin's been WhatsApping me today in regards to how important the 12th man, as it were, is this Thursday. It's a Thursday. Caught me out once or twice already. So Thursday, I'll say it again. It's a Thursday this week. We're playing Brighton, but let us know your thoughts, your feelings. Watch it on Catch Up, FTA, comment for that algorithm. And don't forget, we are partnered with the East Anglian Air Ambulance. If you want to help save lives and have the chance to win £1,000 every week, let's face it, who doesn't? Play the East Anglian Air Ambulance Lottery. By playing for just £1 each week, you're helping to keep their yellow helicopters flying. Shame they're not blue, but they're yellow. The East Anglian Air Ambulance Lottery creates 18 winners every week with prizes ranging from £50 to £1,000. Over 18s only. T's and C's apply. Please be gamble aware, and the link is in our description, so head there. I think, with modern technology, you can probably click the link and still watch and listen to us. I know, it's amazing, this modern tech, isn't it? But the link's in the description. There, as I said, please be gamble aware. We've got 3 points incoming, says Lynn. George Nunn on again tonight. No, he's not, Colin. No George Nunn tonight. I should have asked him, actually. It's a Monday. Then again, we weren't going to be going live ourselves until like 7 p.m. Maybe we arranged this show. I said, yeah, we probably should. We've got Trevor with a transfer question, which I'm sure we'll come to at some point. So, Trevor, your question's great. I've started it. I hope to come back through it through the course of the show. Paul, was Burns injured to be taken off at half time? I'm not sure. I would have thought he was probably being taken off as a precaution. Got a number of injuries in those front areas. You don't really want Wes playing 90 minutes, do we? That's how I saw it. I say saw it, heard it at the radio one. Didn't really see much. I'll be honest, I didn't really see much of it. It was a family birthday yesterday. So I'm hoping this man here will clue me in on what went down. But first of all, how are you, sir?
Good, thanks. You survived the birthday party then?
Certainly did. Yeah. I survived the birthday party. Just about. But we're here, and there's always one parent in there that doesn't like football. It's like, what am I going to talk to you about? What am I going to talk to you about?
Exactly. This is one of the issues. This is an issue, isn't it? When you go to a children's party and you've got to talk to other parents. You end up just talking about work generally, or how they got there.
Yeah.
Oh, that road was closed. Had to go down.
Any plans for the evening? Any plans for the weekend? Been away, yeah. Booked a holiday,
You hate that, don't you? You hate that. You don't even talk to me about that kind of stuff.
Oh, I fucking hate small talk. I hate it. Let's talk, with a purpose, or let's not talk at all. That's the way I view it in that prism, But that was my weekend. But I understand you saw the game yesterday.
I did.
So I've got a few players I want to talk about, because I don't want to talk about all of them, because some of them we know a lot about, some of them we've covered in depth previously. Obviously the big one, Matt, is the new signing, Ben Godfrey. How did he look to your eyes and to your eyes at home? What are your thoughts on Mr. Godfrey?
Yeah, he was solid, I thought, and he played on that. It seemed to me that it seemed to be like through the three centre backs, but he kind of pushed forward in that kind of more attacking right-sided role. Yeah, he looked good, and we'd said on the show previously, hadn't we, that he sort of moves forward a little bit, but like Jens Kahuste, and he had that kind of vibe to him. But yeah, he looked good. It's difficult, isn't it? I mean, you're going against a side that's fifth from bottom in League One, so it's not really a good barometer, I suppose, and in terms of the opposition and the quality. But yeah, I agree with what Neil says there. Godfrey looked confident, so it was a good debut for him. And and obviously Calvin scores and Jack Clark scores, and we said that they needed kind of moments, didn't they? Going in as we now halfway through the season, and both those two have sort of flattered to deceive a little bit. So it was great that they got on the score sheet. So it was the first half was far better than the second half. I mean, I suppose you're 3-0 up at half time, and you just, regardless of opposition, you're kind of consolidating, trying to get through the game without injuries. But good. I mean, it was what, 27 and a half there, I think. Nearly 1,000 Rovers fans there. Good.
Yeah, the clips I saw, obviously, I saw the goals. I saw some other bits and pieces, but more or less a full stadium, which is brilliant considering that was a league game only a couple of years ago. Which is primarily why I wasn't interested in it. I'll be honest with you. I've seen enough Bristol.
We have played them a lot. We have played him a lot, haven't we?
We
Like
really
League Cup,
have.
I think.
Yep. But you got minutes in the legs. There's the first minutes in legs sentence of the show. If I had a buzzer, I'd press it right now. Big sirens. Minutes in legs, 3. Jack Clark. Is that the moment, Matt, that could get his Town career off and going?
Well, regardless of opposition, he needed something to get his confidence, and he looked really good, Clark, and it was a good reactionary goal, to be fair. I mean, Al Hamidi has the shot, looked like it was going to go wide, to be honest, on the edge of the 6-yard box, hits the sliding Bristol Rovers defender. It might have been James Wilson, the former player of the year at Portman Road, you might recall, during the dark times. Yeah. Did you vote for him, by the way?
No, I did not.
No, I've never met anyone who's actually voted for him. But
was never a big James Wilson fan, I'll be honest.
You're not?
No, I wasn't.
So I think it's him, one of the covering defenders. So it goes out to the left and Clark sticks out a diving foot and steers it home. But he looked good. Maybe you'd expect him to look good, wouldn't you? I mean, he's coming up, 15, 20 million from Sunderland in the Championship, where he had a good goal assist record. You'd expect him to look good against a team that's threatened by relegation in League One. But, like I said earlier, regardless of opposition, it's great to see him playing with confidence. He looked fluid. He was running and taking on players. Kind of what we were told he was like when he joined us from Sunderland. And, the opportunity for him to do that kind of thing has been few and far between.
James Wilson, Grant Ward, Luke Thomas. A reminder of the glory days, says Mike D.
What made me laugh was that Luke Thomas comes on as a sub, but we had him on loan from Barnsley. We were taking loan players from Barnsley.
We were. Yeah. And this is what big thing is, though, obviously no disrespect to Bristol Rovers, but this is why it's really difficult to sort of, obviously, players should look good. We are the Premier League side, which I know is still hard to believe in these cup ties when they come around, because they were league games only a couple of years ago. We've league side since the turn of the millennium, but we are Premier League side, so we should have players that stand out. We should have big money acquisitions that are looking like Rolls Royces. These types of games. I know the football doesn't always work like that. Which is why I'm not going through the 1 to 11s, but the kind of players I do want to pick out. Wolfie got the captain's armband, which for a player that's been linked, to Sheffield United, getting the captain's armband for me is huge. And I'm a big Luke Wolfenden fan. I threw a bit of a tantrum on Discord when it was linked that he might be leaving. I was like, don't take my Wolfie away. What are your thoughts on him being given the armband and obviously his performance yesterday and those links?
Well, he didn't have that much to do, to be honest with you. I mean,
good.
The
As he shouldn't, really.
The defence could have had a deck chair, I suppose. It was great for him to get the captain's armband, like you say, comes through the academy, all the way through to Premier League football, and then McKenna, for whatever reason, after I think the Everton game, wasn't it, kind of excluded him from the squad, really, and then he's come back and under this kind of new tactics that we're looking at, the more defensive formation. Yeah, he's looked good. So I was pleased with him. It's odd, isn't it? Somebody's, like Sharon says, I cannot bear the thought of Wolfie leaving. I mean, people have barely seen him play this season, so it's interesting that clubs at the top end of the Championship are thinking they could bring him in when they've hardly really seen him. But he's done okay, isn't he, in his games?
Well. Each time you've seen him, he's never let you down. He never thought, he's had a stinker there. Yeah, that's probably a fair comment, I think. I don't see him leaving in January, do you? I can't see that happening. I mean, you're only ever one injury away from another crisis. I mean, look how we've rolled the dice on the strikers. Don't start me on that one.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah. God, what have I done?
What have you done there?
Yeah. I mean, certainly playing in that central role as well. I mean, I suppose Godfrey, having seen him yesterday, I suppose he could play in that middle of the three, I guess, and maybe Dara O'Shea as well. But you don't want to tempt fate and leave yourself short there, do you? As we've done with our striking options this season.
No, that's true. Obviously, on to the striker. Obviously, Ali sadly missed the penalty. There's lots of comments in the
there's
chat.
There's missed, and then there's this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Paul P. Ali Hamadi's confidence looks shot to hell. He needs to leave alone. Needs to get some matches under his belt. Neil says Ali Hamadi, on the other hand, unfortunately hasn't connected for some far this season. So far, I think he means. I think he's looked sluggish each time he's come on. So obviously George Hurst was off the bench yesterday. That's obviously a promising development, a good development, an exciting one.
He didn't get injured in his 20-minute cameo, Martin, so that's a bonus.
Always good. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about sort of the situation obviously here. I've seen a lot of social media chatter about Ali, and a lot of it I feel is unfair. And I'm actually gonna defend the player a little bit here, Matt, because I don't think from my perspective, and it's just my opinion, and my opinion means nothing really, but I don't think the club have done that well by him in the sense of his development. But this time last year was playing League Two football. Playing in the Championship over 46 games could have arguably been a stretch had we stayed in that division this season. So to make facto number 3, which for me just seems a little bit unfair to the lad, when it would have been best thing for him to go out on loan early doors, get a season out, be that League One, be that the Championship, whichever level you had that interest for. But it feels like a sink or swim situation where you're going into a season with Delap, George Hurst, and Ali Al-Hamidi. One was a League Two striker last year. One's been injured a lot, which isn't his fault. And I don't like some players that have been injured that much, but, he has been injured. And one was a player making the step up from the Championship where in the summer, many were questioning the transfer fee. Is that best for Ali's development to sink or swim in that regard? Really? Really?
Yeah, no, I do agree with you. I mean, we did say we were walking a fine line, didn't we, with the striking options in the summer? Certainly when George Hurst goes down injured against Fortuna Düsseldorf, and then they tried to get Ioannidis in, that didn't happen, did it? We could still be there now, putting millions on the table. I don't think they'd accept it. And then we've got this weird situation with Broja, who turns out wasn't fit. Then he goes to Everton. He's barely played there, and he's got injured again. So it was very odd summer-wise, I think, for the strikers. And of course, that leaves Al-Hamidi exposed, doesn't it? Like you say, only a year ago, he was playing for Wimbledon. Comes in for what? $750,000, I suppose. And I think he's probably a bit of a punt, to be honest with you. Probably a little bit similar to Hadmi, I guess, when they signed him from Burton, was it? Burton Albion, we got him from?
Yeah, Burton Albion, yeah.
It was similar to that. So let's get him in. Hasn't cost us too much, really, and see how he develops, send him out on loan. And suddenly he finds himself in the cut and thrust of the Premier League having to come off the bench.
And all you end up doing is obviously the fans have started to sour on the player. I think that's probably fair to say, just by social media reaction, because all they see is a player that is, and there's no disrespect to him, he's out of his depth at the Premier League level, as he probably should be, having only played League Two football last season.
Yeah.
And fans don't care what the journey is, unless it's a really good end story in the sense of he's scoring goals, 15 a season, and they can say, oh, he's playing League Two last year. But right now, fans aren't bothered about where he was last year. They're worried about the football club right here, right now. So they're starting to go, he's out of his depth, he's no good, he's this. And I just feel for the player because his confidence
exactly.
like it's on the floor. And that development, as I started the conversation piece with Matt, that doesn't feel like good development for him. And I feel really sorry for him.
No, I totally agree. No one thought he looked out of his depth when he was playing in the Championship last season and coming on from the bench.
But wasn't he third striker then? Like, he got number 3 in the Championship, and now he's making a step up, being number 3 in the Premier League at the elite level, Matt. The elite level. It's a bit like trying to get your kid in it to swim, but you just start them in the deep end and then moan at them because they're not doing what you want. So what you do is you chuck him in. Take the armbands off, chuck him in and say, sink or swim, son. Like, he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. I feel so sorry for him. I really do. Because some of the stuff you read is unfair as well. And it just, as you can probably see, I'm on my horse. Yeah,
it's got your goat, isn't it? It's got your goat. He didn't help himself yesterday with the pen. I mean, I don't know what he did. The turf before the ball or something. I mean, it happens, doesn't it? He's missed the goal by a considerable margin, basically. So I was really, it was a good idea to give him the pen, I think, because you want him to get a goal. Like we say, Phillips gets a goal, Jack Clark gets one. So that'd been good for, like you talk about, his development, maybe not his confidence not being as sky high as it was when he first come in at that town from Wimbledon. So to get off the mark, albeit from the spot, would have been brilliant. Actually, he's not got a great record from the spot, has he? He's now taken, I think, 3 and missed 2 of them. He got the one.
I'm not sure why he's still taking them, to be fair.
Yeah.
Back in my day, Matt, you missed one, you were off them. That was it, mate. There was no second chances, no third chances. It was missed. It
was funny, actually, because they were saying during the game that Calvin Phillips' last goal was in the Champions League against Red Star Belgrade from the penalty spot for Man City, going back a couple of seasons or whatever it was. So I thought maybe I was thinking maybe he might have taken it. But it seemed a good idea on paper. Give it to Ali, get him off the mark. But unfortunately, that kind of backfired in spectacular fashion because, like we say, he misses the target by a considerable margin. But I don't really get it. Makes me laugh, really, because like the fans don't seem to have any problem getting on the backs of players. Yet you when we're on here, I'm talking about now, say, McKenna's to blame for that. get loads of shit in the comments. So you can't say anything about McKenna, but get on.
Like you.
Well, maybe, but I mean, but get on the players' backs doesn't seem to be too much of an issue.
You see, I disagree. I disagree. I think fans love and care passionately about their football club, and they don't care who wears the shirt as long as it meets the expectations they've got of the person wearing that shirt. And that's what I say. Like, if Ali was scoring 15 goals, it'd be a great story, playing League Two. But right now, fans aren't bothered about that story. They want to see a player that's going to
we've
fire them to where they need to get to, which is survival. And you're
but
just seeing
fans don't look at it objectively, do they, Mike? We've said it before. I don't think Ipswich fans have looked objectively at the season this season. Then everyone scratching their heads wondering why we're still in the relegation zone and stuff. And you've got to look at Ali in isolation, like we say. He's come from League Two to the Premier League. It's huge, huge. I mean, look at the golfing clubs between the Championship and the Premier League. So, the playing side is exactly the same as an individual. He should be on loan, really. I mean, and I would say Ashton and McKenna are to blame for that. They didn't get the quality striker in that we needed to counter with Hurst and Delap in order to allow Ali to go out on loan. And of course, he only ends up staying at Town for this season because Hurst's injury record is patchy.
Well, they couldn't bring that third striker in order to obviously loan him out. I'm sure the football club's development wasn't this. I'm not sure of it. I can't say I'm sure of it because I don't know it. But I would have thought the football club's development for Ali perhaps wasn't this. It would have been bringing a Brojo or bringing Ionides, and then you're affordable. But I just would have think you had a couple of options still at the football club last season that perhaps you could have kept that. Aren't a million miles in terms of difference in quality with Ali that you then could have allowed the player to go. Because this is our player at the end of the day, and we want obviously the best Ali we can get in years to come.
What level would you send him to? Back to the Championship then?
You got to gauge the interest, haven't you? But I would just say about the fans there, Matt, is that they're two different beasts, aren't they? Fans in stadiums, it's all about love, passion, support, and we all do pick our players up. But once you get home or once you come on podcasts, I'm critical of it as well. I slam players, as Mike would D will tell you, get his in gov. Now I didn't get any name for no reason, right? So I'm no saint. But you speak about your football club on social media, and you're a bit more honest, perhaps. Whereas in the stadium, it's all about picking them up and going. So I think that's obviously separate. But
we need our best players fit in order to stay in this division. That's what we're trying to do this season. 17th is the goal, isn't it? All finished top of that little, was it 5-club mini league we've got with Everton at the top of it, which is 16th down to 20. Like
yes, yeah, and we've apparently got some possible points deductions coming tomorrow. Punishment arriving tomorrow.
Yeah, look at me laughing.
Leicester gonna, I know.
Leicester going to finally get done.
Is that press conference the equivalent of like sort of sending the class head pupil out to go and say you've got to go to the headmaster's office?
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like and tonight, all Leicester and other clubs, whoever might be facing one, just to be tossing and turning. Because they'll frantically think, I've got to go to the headmaster's office tomorrow, 9 a.m. sharp. I've got to face the tension. I'm in trouble. Won't be a minute's sleep in that house.
I'm not sure Leicester's going to escape this time. I mean, they kind of had a little bit of creative accounting, should we say, around PSR last time. I don't think they're going to escape it this time. And then, I don't know. I mean, people are talking about Chelsea walking a fine line, aren't they? I mean, we obviously know Manchester City's separate thing, but I mean, that's still ongoing. Everton will be mentioned again. So be interesting to see. I don't think Leicester are going to get away with it a second time. Don't think so.
Well, but you mentioned the first time that feels like the Premier League might have them in this.
I said to you, didn't I? They might feel sorry for it and end up giving them points. Oh, sorry to waste your time. I have 3 points. What?
Yeah, I mean,
it's all helpful for the town. Let me say that it's all helpful. By any means necessary, you must be finished outside the bottom three. It
just feels like a scene out of The Simpsons, doesn't it? When Leicester City going that to the old Premier League, and then they turn the corner and there's Nelson Muntz, aka the Premier League, sort of waiting for him with a whole new. It's like, oh no, I wish I hadn't done that now. That was like oh no. But we'll see. We shall see.
We'll see what happens.
Brighton, obviously Thursday, and he says Saturday again. Brighton.
7:30 kickoff, everybody. It's a 7:30 kickoff, not 7:45, not 8 o'clock. 7:30 kickoff.
7:30. Okay.
Yeah. On TNT, isn't it?
Is it?
Mm.
It's good to know.
You're mulling over not going now, aren't you? I can tell. I know the Gov too well, everybody. I can see his brain ticking over it. He can save 15 quid on the car parking.
Depends what the weather holds. If weather holds,
yeah. If it's been icy like it has been recently, bloody hell, it's gonna be cold up Pullman Road like that. Yeah.
So 1 to 11, Walton in goal. We both would assume.
Yep. 100%.
Sticking with the back three of. Well, this is it now.
Well, now where does Godfrey fit into this? Is the question. Where does Godfrey fit into this? Is the question.
Does
that, isn't
Godfrey fit into it? Okay, I'll shoot first. I will go Johnson because I thought he had a great game against Fulham, and I'd like to see him have.
He played very well in that game, didn't he?
Back a right wing back. I will go Godfrey, O'Shea, Greaves.
You're leaving out Wolfen then?
Yeah, I'm leaving out Wolfen. As much as I love Wolfen, I guess I'm going there. Yeah.
I would. Let me have a look. Let me just get in the line up here. Everyone, hold on a second. That we had from the Fulham game. Yes, the Walton in goal. Be harsh on. They played well, didn't they? At Fulham, that three. I feel that is a good partnership between those three at the moment. O'Shea, Wolford, and Greaves. I think Godfrey might go in at the right back, certainly at home, where he's got a bit more of an attacking threat than what Johnson did. And you'll recall, I thought Johnson played very well against Fulham. It was one of his best games for us. I'd probably put Godfrey in at right back, I think, instead of Johnson, and obviously Leaf will come back in. Big shout out to Townsend yesterday. He played very well. I mean, everyone's he's been under the radar, hasn't he? Because he's come in obviously as Leaf's understudy, but he's a really functional defender. Could take a good set piece. I mean, Chris Hall told us he's good at free kicks and things, but he was on corners yesterday with Calvin. Again, obviously against the League One side, but I think it was good just to put him into the window a little bit, for people to see what he can do at Pullman Road. But yeah, Leaf will return into midfield. Then got a conundrum now, haven't we? Got Morsey available. You got Cahuste available. You got Calvin. What are you doing in the middle there?
Morsey and Cahuste. Simple as that.
He played well. I mean, again, Calvin played very well yesterday. He scores a very good goal. It's a great finish.
He does.
It's a proper elite finish. Yes, I think you're right. But there was criticism over Morsey, wasn't there, at Fulham? People thought he had not a great game. I mean, look, certainly gives away the penalty. I mean,
we didn't.
I don't know what you're thinking of that, but
he's still your skipper and he's still your leader.
Yeah. Can't sleep on that. Yeah.
Morsey and Cahuste all day long. This is where the real conundrum is. The laps up front, granted, given, job done. Yeah. What's the three behind him going to be? Because we've got injury roulette. We need Ben Adams' injury bingo back.
Yes.
With the three, I will go. I think Wes Burns, because I think that's the only option you've got on the right, which is why obviously we're looking for Jayden Philogene. And where is he? That is a great question.
Well, we can't count him in this. I mean, if he signs, and does he play? I mean, has he trained? We don't know. But yes, I agree.
You wouldn't start him over Wes.
Now, did they take Burns off as a precaution yesterday?
I hope so. I don't know that. I just thought when I said it at the start of the show, it made sense. Like you could. If you don't play Wes, who are you playing at right wing tomorrow? Let's say you can't. Let's say Wes has gone out on loan somewhere, right? Just pretend he's not here for a minute. Who would you play at right wing right now?
Who are you playing? Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Ben Johnson.
Totally well, yes, probably. So, but you'd pick at home. I think as an attacking threat, you'd pick Wes over Johnson, wouldn't you?
So that's why I thought it'd be a precaution.
If people are in the comments and stuff, put it in the comments. I'm sure McKenna said they took him off as a precaution yesterday. He felt something. He's going to be all right for Thursday. Hope he's all right for Thursday. Yeah, I'd agree with that. He'll have to go over that right. And then you'll have Broadhead in there.
On the left.
Obviously on the left. And then obviously Liam up the top.
Excellent. All right. Yeah, I agree with that. Brody and Wes behind the lap. Okay. Before I go into the score prediction, Jayden Philogene. Where is Jayden Philogene? Why is he in the town shirt already? I know that there's paperwork, or is it this? I mean, fans have been obviously losing their minds a little bit.
We've seen it in our Discord, haven't we? I'm getting a bad feeling. Well, you're not actually involved in the transfer, are you? So why would you get a bad feeling? I don't really get it. Again, who knows what's going on behind the scenes? I would agree with people in our Discord, though. It has gone on for quite a while. I mean, that's unusual, isn't it? You said maybe they were sending everything recorded delivery, didn't you?
Yeah, well, no, they sent it second class. They should probably send it for a special recorded delivery. I mean, I was reading an article about the Athletic, and I didn't quite realise how many transfers are done by WhatsApp, which just feels like me arranging some bloke to come knock a shed up for me in the back garden.
But what was
Like,
it? How do you think it's done then?
I thought it'd be by email or proper communication. Such what I would call, and sorry, my age, I know what I would call professional business communication, such as email, fax,
Yeah.
telegram. Like, it blew my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, Dave. How much for
Yeah.
Village on the right? Oh, I don't know, about 200 quid. Yeah, well, say 150, and I'll make a cup of tea. All right, job done. Like, just WhatsApp gives that vibe. You know what I mean? Like, you're dealing with.
If only you were in charge of negotiations, you would get the deal over the line very quickly, and you've just got him for 200 quid rather than 20 million.
But no, because that's sort of, you want your loft converted, so you're going to WhatsApp the local builder.
Everyone knows everyone in football, so it's well connected. The network there. I mean, certainly to get the ball rolling, pardon the pun, on the deal. Yeah, that's probably how it starts.
Yeah,
I do agree with everyone. Say again.
I see. In my mind, it was Disser. Please find attached transfer proposal for
down the formal route.
That's how I do.
Yeah. It is. I can understand why people would have a concern. It seems to be taking a while, and because they'll see the previous deal when he was coming to us and it didn't materialise, did it? He didn't have any say in that, by the way. I mean, the clause was that if Villa matched a club's fee they were going to pay, he went there. He was quite happy to come here by all accounts. I mean, look, he's joining up with Delap and Greaves, two teammates. I'm sure they're on when you talk about WhatsApp and stuff, I'm sure they're on his case to say what's going on. Get yourself here. So he had no choice but to go to Villa, did he? He had no choice, and I think his agent seems to be, shall I say, a bit of a character, posting sort of various images and stuff when they're outside the Barcelona ground or something. But I agree that in the summer, I agree with Mike D here. I think Philogene will sign once the Malin deal he's done by Villa. Yeah, I mean that's that Daniel Malin, isn't it, from Borussia Dortmund, Dutch striker. He's going in there for about the same amount of money that we're signing Philogene for, about 20 million. So Sky confirmed that today. So maybe we'll see some movement tomorrow. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But certainly, I mean, certainly in the press conference after the game yesterday, McKenna did seem quite tired and a bit downbeat, and people making assumptions that maybe the deal wasn't happening. He may be a bit deflated to hear that, but who really knows?
Perhaps he's just found out he's having shepherd's pie for dinner.
Well, exactly. I would be like that. If someone told me I was having shepherd's pie for dinner, I'd be deflated.
Exactly. Yeah. I am proper deflated on the fact or cottage pie or steak and kidney. Like, perhaps he just literally, got to the suggestion room, looked at his phone. Oh, shepherd's pie for dinner, man. I'd be deflated. Right? It ain't got to be a bad reason all the time, folks. He is a human being.
Yeah. Perhaps he just wanted a burger or something and shepherd's pie. That was it. Exactly.
Or lasagna,
but
even.
He's chased him. I mean, look, they've chased him for God knows how long, haven't they? And he obviously the contract situation at Villa, with Hull meant he went back to Villa, and now it feels like they've got him. So let's wait and see. People always assume the worst, don't they?
That's what I mean. I feel like there is a segment there to be had. What is your go-to post-football dinner? I just feel like there's a segment to be had.
It's going to be a new segment for us, is it?
I feel like it's potentially a summer segment. You're reminiscing on the season. There's legs in that. We can work on that.
Yeah, okay.
Get sponsored by a local takeaway company or something, or just.
Oh, you're well known. You're well known to them in Stowmarket, aren't you? So
all takeaway establishments I'm well known to in the IP postcode, let alone just the Stowmarket postcode.
Are you not too concerned about Philogene? And would you rather have a striker through the door rather than Jadon Philogene?
I want both. I'm a football fan. I want both and Lionel Messi. Like that's how fans are, and that's how I am. And it's not my money either. So. But I just feel the priority going into the window was a striker.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Sign a centre half, having, and I'll be exaggerated here, 9 centre halves. We've signed we've been linked with another midfield player, despite having 10 midfield players, central midfield players. Our 9th winger's being linked, albeit a very good one, and these are very good players. That's not what I'm saying. The priority going to the window was a striker. Yeah. I haven't lost focus of the fact that he's still my priority, and on Jan 13th. I ain't got my priority yet. So
if Philogene, let's be positive. When Philogene comes in, where's he playing anyway? Because our friend Joe from the whole pod was saying he's much better on the left-hand side than what he is on the right.
There's the question, my friend.
I mean, where would that leave Broadhead then? Well, he played very well against Fulham. Broadhead.
Well, this is it. Again, it's difficult with, perhaps they've identified that he can play on the right and it might suit him or the system. we signed Jack Clark, and the Sunderland fan said it was a chalk on his boots winger.
Yeah, he ain't been there, has he? He's not done it.
Only time he touches the chalk when he crosses it to come on the pitch, and that's it.
Yeah, he had a bit because of the opposition yesterday. He had a bit more freedom, I think. To sort of you saw that more of that kind of Jack Clark play yesterday. I think he felt more confident to take players on. You're not playing against elite international superstars from the Premier League for one thing. I mean, you made a really good point. I mean, we were watching that Brentford Plymouth highlights where Morgan Whittaker scores the winning goal against Brentford, take them to knock them out of the cup. He was on our shopping list, Talking Town shopping list in the summer. Right-hand sided player, ticks all the McKenna boxes. Right-sided player, cuts in, got a great left foot. We saw that when he scored the goal at Portman Road in League One. He seems to have sort of disappeared off the road. I know he was injured for a couple of months. I think he broke a bone in his foot or something, broke a toe. I mean, it was only a year ago. He was lined up to go to somewhere like Lazio, I think, in Italy. So he'd be a really good right-sided option for us. Certainly when you think that if Philogene comes in, as Joe from Hull said to us, he's really a left-sided player. We don't, as we go into the back end of the season, trying to stay up, we don't want to be putting square pegs in round holes, do we?
No. And obviously, the day after it was announced that Burnley were in for Whittaker, it was almost like they read the WhatsApp messages. You know, obviously,
we obviously saw that. I thought we'll get him in. Yeah, but everyone knows that Burnley is now the new track to Ipswich, isn't it? Murich,
and you are right. Obviously, he was on your shopping list a couple of years ago, right between Joe Pickett and Gathan Hadme. So
I never had Joe Pickett on my shopping list. Someone else did. It was a good idea at the time.
Sorry, Ricky Marple was on mine, so don't worry. We've all got players we thought could be something, and they've turned out not to be. So
let's see what tomorrow brings. Hopefully, all the cogs are whirring in the background, and you just. You know, Ashton likes to keep his cards close to his chest on all these things, don't they? We don't really know what happened with the Brozier deal, really, do we? Other than he goes to Everton, it ends up then he's played from until end of November, start of December, and now he's injured again. So we dodged a bullet there.
Yes, I think it's part of the social media craze, isn't it? Like if they gave me 100 links a day to a striker, I'd probably be happy. It's because I'm getting nothing. Because I'm literally not even get a scrap from the table, where I'm not even getting. You know, we had a couple of links. How realistic were they remains to be seen, in the sense of the players that were linked. But
Brenner asked the question. Brenner asked the question on the BBC yesterday on Suffolk, and Kieran just straight batted it. But you can't really trust Kieran in these situations. I mean, he straight batted Ben Godfrey, didn't he, before the kickoff at Craven Cottage on the Sky cameras, only then for him to be in the stadium, and they announced him at full time. Yeah, so he's got a good poker face, Kieran. You can't always trust him, I don't think, when it comes to these things. I mean, and that's great in the dirty world that is football transfers. Keep your cards close to your chest, absolutely.
Another week and a half, though, you'll be dusting off the old big red button that says panic on it.
Wilderness. Well, we were in the wilderness then. We didn't have any strikers then, did we?
I didn't say wilderness. You did. I just said panic.
We didn't have any FA Cup wilderness yesterday, thankfully.
No, but it's amazing how you brought that up, because I didn't even mention the word wilderness.
Well, it's always been because you never let me finish. You and Cruncher never let me finish my sentence because you were too busy cutting in. No,
you can't mention Cruncher. He's not here to defend himself. That's not fair. I don't let you finish. You can say that. That's fine.
I never got to give the context, but young manager dumped out of the cup on live TV by a non-league side. We had no strikers. And by the way, what was the next game after that? We were 3-0 down at half-time against Preston. So it did feel like a bit of a wilderness to me. What was the future going to hold for us? But hopefully the future is going to hold us finishing 17th or higher this season. That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay, so I'll do what you did last year. I'll go there. I'll go and I'll say it feels like we're in the wilderness of the strikers. Like we're in the wilderness in the striking department. We're in the wilderness trying to find where the striker is.
It's not as bad as it was last season, because at least you've got a firing Liam Delap. You've got George Hurst coming back. But you do need that. Al Hamidi isn't the answer, sadly, for that third option. So we do need someone in. I think it's going to be alone. I think it'll be right at the end of the month. But who do we play right at the end of the month? Liverpool? Is that the 25th, is it? I think. January 25th, 26th? Something like that. Look, in an ideal world, we'd have Philogene here for Brighton, wouldn't we? But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case unless he signs tomorrow, I guess.
Score prediction right after this message from Freddie. And I say it's a message from Freddie. It's a message from me about Freddie. Don't forget, Stowmarket Osteopaths. Give him a call. Don't live life in pain. Call Freddie. He's the governor. Oh, I've butchered the whole thing. 01449 613 633. Freddie's the governor there. I mentioned that before, just in case you didn't know. Tell him I
I
sent you.
suddenly thought you were going to have like some kind of video segment there. You'd been out and filmed something.
No.
No. You should do that though. I would love, but I'm sure people would love to see you spreading in the flesh.
Yeah. So they probably would. All right, score prediction, please, then, Matthew. And those at home, please let us know in the chat. What is your score prediction for Thursday, 7:30 p.m.?
Well, I think that's a winnable game. They've not won a game since they beat Bournemouth on the 23rd of November. So I think if we could put in a performance like we did against Chelsea, and all intents and purposes how well we played at Fulham, I think we can beat them on the road. We played well there, albeit we probably were a little bit lucky to get a point. That said, we did hit the post. I think we'll beat them 2-1. That's my prediction. It'll be very similar to the Chelsea game, I think.
Excellent. All right, 2-1. Let us know in the chat. Neil says 2-1. Lynn says 2-1. 4-2 says Kieran. Metal J says 2-1. Greg says 3-2. Tommy K says 3-0 Brighton. How you doing, Tommy? I've missed you.
That's Carrow Road.
Yeah. How was that fourth cup of the FA Cup fixture lining up for you? All right. Keep them coming in. We'd love to read them. Thank you for watching. He has been the wonderful Matthew Phillips. Up in the
Before we go, Martin, very quick thing about Janoi Donacien.
Oh, yes.
Left the club today, didn't he? I don't know if anyone's seen that. It's a great video on the Town TV where Janoi says goodbye, and Andy Warren does a really good interview with him because I think he joins in 2018, and here we are in 2025. Albeit he got released last season, he's been training into clubs, so he does a really good interview. Still got very impressive beard, Martin. I know you've always admired that, haven't you? The Janoi Donacien beard.
Yeah. I watched it. I watched a bit of it, or when it came up on my Instagram feed earlier, and I was like, "That is a fantastic beard." Like, but he's product. He must have it. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's very shiny as well. Yeah, it's immense. But just, as I said earlier, just think the renaissance he had when he seemed to be out the door when Lambert come in and didn't rate him from the time he had him at Villa. Goes off to Accrington again, doesn't he? Where we signed him from, and goes Fleetwood, and then he has like a bit of a renaissance under Cook and McKenna, and he's part of the back-to-back and played 3 games, I think they said in the Championship. Sort of integral in that League One campaign, wasn't he? I think he done something like 100 appearances or something. And then you see right at the very end, he's saying goodbye to all the players in the indoor training facility there. Quite emotional, actually. So he was obviously well thought of. You can see he's a really popular guy, and I'm sure he's great to have around the place. He's great buzz, and he'll go with everyone's best wishes, and hopefully he can do some good stuff with Cookie at Chesterfield.
Comes across as a really nice guy. Really,
he
nice guy.
Really does. Yeah, he's really top man. Yeah.
And he's been a top man and a top professional, and we wish him nothing but the best for what he's going to go and do.
Very unlucky. He was unlucky not to get Player of the Year. I don't know, because Wes was so good that season, wasn't he? I think Janoi was a very close second, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, but you're right. Great beard. Sort of beard I look at, and I look myself in the mirror and I go, why can't I ever grow a beard like that?
Just be you.
It's nice.
Well, give it a go then. See, I mean,
good beard, good hair. That's all I want in life, right?
Yeah. Well, I think everything else. Yeah, I think you're ticking those boxes. Don't do yourself down.
I'm ticking the hair box. Yeah. Anyway, we're done. This has been Matthew Phillips. I'm off to find a mirror. Thank you for watching. Take care. All the best, and God bless.